Most people think of Amy Duncan when speaking about bad parents on Disney Channel, but Morgan and Christina Ross are worse parents than Amy Duncan. I was already a fan of Christina Moore prior to her role in Jessie. She's the actress that plays Christina Ross. I liked her character in 90210 where she also played a mom, so when I saw her in Jessie, I was excited to now see her in a kids' family show. But then I quickly realized she wasn't going to be a reoccurring role in Jessie. Morgan and Christina are considered the worst parents mainly because they're shown to be very neglectful. I don't think they ever played favorites because Emma is their only biological child, but they were equally neglectful to her as they were to the rest of their kids. It's funny that they constantly change nannies really fast because in a city like New York you shouldn't trust just anyone to take care of your kids, not even if you were doing background checks. But I guess they were okay with it because Bertram was always in the penthouse and he's been with them for years, so they had him keep an eye on the nanny. I do wonder how much they paid Jessie and Bertram. A lot of times Jessie and Bertram complained about not getting paid enough to look over the kids, and that could just be them exaggerating. But at the same time, I can see Morgan and Christina paying their butler and nanny less than the usual wage just because they're allowed to stay in the penthouse for free. Something I liked about the show was the episode where the family went broke. Not because they lost their money, but because it really shows how in high society once you lose everything, even your closest friends turn on you and don't offer a helping hand. It's very realistic as to what happens in real life with those type of families when losing their riches. Some people think that even their neighbors didn't offer any help because they hated the kids due to their wild behavior. I'm pretty sure most of their neighbors felt the same way Mrs. Chesterfield felt. Some props to Morgan and Christina is that I think they only began adopting children so Emma could have siblings and not be alone. Maybe Christina couldn't have kids after Emma, but they still wanted to give her siblings, so they began adopting. A sad episode was when the parents got gifts for their children, but they didn't even know what their kids' interests were. Situations like this could have done damage to the kids, so honestly they're lucky the Ross kids didn't turn out more traumatized or go on to become horrible kids. The worst that came out of them was they misbehaved, but it was to get attention since their parents never gave them any. The finale was kinda dumb because Christina came home and said she was going to stay permanently so she can take care of her kids, but she then sent the kids to a summer camp. I found out that the actor who plays Morgan Ross got a role on another TV series, so that's why he wasn't very present in Jessie. I'm not sure if the same situation happened with the actress who played Christina Ross. People think the Ross parents are a sub to Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie. That could be true, but other famous couples do the same thing. So it could be a sub to a lot of famous couples. Before you say that Amy Duncan is a worse parent than the Rosses, let's first look at it from a bigger picture. Amy at least was there for her kids. She was self-centered, but she was still there for her kids as they navigated through life challenges. Morgan and Christina were never present, so they're missing out on key moments from their kids' childhoods. They also aren't around to teach them valuable lessons about life. Instead, the Ross kids are learning lessons through their nanny and butler. Let's also remember that the Duncan kids at least still had their dad during the times Amy was being too conceited, but the Ross kids didn't have their dad or mom. Let me know if you also think that Morgan and Christina Ross were the worst parents on Disney Channel.